In the previous lesson, I mentioned matter. In this lesson, I will discuss some of the properties of matter and a bit more on what stuff makes up the stuff you can see. The first general property of matter that you may know of is mass. There are several ways to define mass, and they all have some differences. To keep things simple, we will define mass as follows. In physics, mass, more specifically inertial mass, can be defined as a quantitative measure of an object's resistance to acceleration. So for us, if it resists a change in motion, then it has mass and can be considered matter. Now what makes up this matter? Here's a clip from PhD Comics taken from a video they put together describing the Higgs boson.
To make up everyday matter, you only need the electron, the up quark, and the down quark. Because with the up quark and the down quark, you can make a proton, or you can make a neutron, right? Electrons and protons and neutrons, you can make any atom. So you only need these three.
Those three are it. Everything you see, eat, breathe, smell, touch, is made from those fundamental particles. As mentioned in the clip, these quarks make up protons and neutrons. These protons and neutrons, along with electrons, make up atoms, which are the smallest particles of elements. Elements are atoms that have the same number of protons in the nucleus. This number of protons in the nucleus is called atomic number. Like 1 for hydrogen with 1 proton, 6 for carbon with 6 protons, and 92 for uranium with 92 protons. I think you get the point. So any atom with 6 protons would be called a carbon atom, no matter the number of electrons or neutrons. Now there is a whole lot more types of matter than the 118 elements we have on the periodic table. This is because these atoms will combine to form compounds. Compounds, then, are combinations of 2 or more atoms that form chemical bonds and stick together, forming different types of matter. These atoms that are stuck together are the particles of the compounds and are called molecules. All molecules of a specific compound have the same proportion of atoms, and they are arranged in the molecule in the same pattern. Take water as a simple example. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom will stick together to form a molecule, and all molecules of water have 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen put together in the same way. I like to think of the terms element and compound as describing a bunch of smaller particles grouped together. We would call the liquid compound in a glass water. That water is made up of tiny particles called molecules, each one put together in the same way with the same combination of atoms. The red-orange solid in the center of a wire would be called copper, since it is only made of the tiny particles called atoms with only 29 protons in each atom. In summary, the matter we see has mass and can be separated into compounds and elements. Molecules, the smallest particles of compounds, can be further separated into atoms, which are the smallest particles of elements. Those atoms can be broken down into electrons, protons, and neutrons. And those protons and neutrons can be separated into quarks. And that's it. As far as we know, these are the fundamental particles without any smaller parts.